All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's say good morning, big young baby in the comments. Good morning. All right. I wasn't sure I was going to watch this, but my curiosity has been piqued. First of all, good morning. I hope everybody enjoyed their Easter, Resurrection Sunday, Sunday fun day, family time. Whatever we all celebrate. Let's see. Why is it not giving me? Okay, so let's see. So the reason why I was thinking about why are we watching this? This man is already serving over 100 years. Okay, this man is already serving over 100 years. He has been convicted as a serial unaliver in California. However, they were under the impression that he took out a lady and Miss Teresa Green in Florida back in 2002. There's been, as you can see, a plethora of delays, including the pandemic and all kinds of things. But it sounds like what they're trying to do is what California didn't do or couldn't do. They're not offering him an extended stay. Okay. If I read it correctly, he was, hell, when I was born in 85, he was convicted and did like 12 years of taking somebody out. He got out. He only lasted on the street a couple of years and he started back at it. He ends up back in jail, back and forth until he ultimately gets this 110 years. And this is for taking people out. They then find out that he may have done the deed in Florida. And so even though he was convicted in California and has like extensive history in California, they then now have extradited him to Florida. But Florida is not playing any games with him. Florida is offering him the final destination. They are not offering him an extended stay. So this is the Florida trial. Yes, he is already convicted in California. This is the Florida trial for him. I don't know what he's getting ready to try to defend. I don't know. They're currently giving the jury instructions now, so we'll jump in. The jury will be entering the room, and then they'll go into the instructions. We'll probably scoot through the instructions because, they're the basic instructions. But that's what's going on here. So this is for the unaliving of Miss Teresa Green. Now, from what I understand, he's currently 59. This is for the first degree unaliving and theft and death of Teresa Ann Green. She was 38. She was found strangled to death and left in the trunk of her own car. They say on May 26th, are they really saying 2022? I think they messed up that date. But at one point, he was living in the same apartment building as Miss Teresa Green. And allegedly, they went to a party together. So they're saying that they were both guests at a party that was hosted by somebody by the name of Joyce Butler and Joseph Butler, who also lived in the building. So a good old apartment building. Neighbors is throwing something and invited everybody. They were both there. They said the two went to leave the party at the same time, and witnesses told the police that they saw both the victim and the defendant fall down the stairs before getting up and entering the victim's apartment. So they might have been a little tipsy, okay? So the Butlers told the police that several hours after the party ended, Hunter came back to their apartment and asked Joseph Butler for a favor. And allegedly, that husband, Joseph, might have given this man the keys to a white van and asked him, like, basically to drive behind him. So basically to follow him. But with the car that Joseph was following was Miss Teresa's car. Now, the husband from the party, he said he never saw Green. He never saw Teresa. He said that basically this man basically took Teresa's green Oldsmobile, parked it at a Walgreens, and then jumped back in the white van with Joseph. Now, Joseph allegedly asked the defendant, why are we leaving this car behind? Like, why are you leaving her car? And allegedly, Mr. Hunter told Joseph, I did something real bad. Now, Joseph Butler claimed he didn't want to hear nothing else and dropped the topic and went on about his business. So, when they finally found her car at the Walgreens, the police was dispatched out there, looked inside. They found that her body was wrapped in some kind of material in the trunk. Medical examiner determined the death was a homicide and that it was strangulation. So when the officers interviewed the owner of the white van, Henry Fields, he told them that, hey, no, I came here from California and I let somebody use that van. And so that's how they kind of get to him, because we know that Hunter was using the van. So at this point, I don't know if the white van owner was trying to get himself out of some trouble or if he was just trying to make sure he didn't get in any trouble at all, because he offers to the police that, hey, this nigga told me that he might have took out his longtime girlfriend back in California. So they ended up, don't it sound crazy? So they ended up convicting him of the Oakland murder of his back then longtime girlfriend, sentenced him to the 110 years, and now he's been extradited to Florida to face the trial for Teresa Green, which is the situation that they're talking about now. I know it sounds a little crazy as hell, but that's what's going on. So yes, he is already convicted. Yes, he's already probably going to spend his natural life in jail, but Florida is not offering him years. Florida is saying, we can give you the final destination. California can give you the extended stay. We're giving you the final destination. So I am Florida is not the place to commit crimes, because obviously, Shay, they don't care if you got 110 years. They will bring your ass back to Florida while you serving your 110 years to do their part. Like you don't have no years, okay? All right, so we'll hop in. I'll probably scoot up because they're doing the what's it called? Jury instructions. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little off this morning. I am on the struggle bus. Florida does not play. So before I start anything, I want to say if everybody can put a quick prayer in the air for the Coates family. A childhood friend of mine was taken on April 3rd, and it has not been sitting right with me seeing all these pictures and videos, and he was actually taken on his older sister's birthday. So she woke up on her birthday and her brother was gone. So I'm waiting to hear some information in regards to that, because that sounds like it's going to be a bit of a nasty piece of mess before you get to a trial. I'm just going to say it. I have made no bones about, where I'm from, who I grew up with. And we know, like I said, there's been 3 rounds of RICOs, which is, again, intrigued my interest in RICOs and how this happens. And remember, I said there was one in the generation before me, one with my generation, and then one right after I left Ohio. Him and his brother went in the second round of RICOs. And I hate to say it like this, but it was kind of like a big Meech Terry thing, telling your brother or just sign this paper. So they both just signed the papers. They got like 40 years apiece, and they were gone. And then the laws changed so that folks that dealt in the C-rack got the same thing as the cocaine, right? Because we know that there was a big disparity in who touched what and how much time they got. So their time was literally cut in half. And then they came home while they were gone. Their youngest brother was unalived. So pray for their mother. I believe he was only 16, 17 years old. They get home. One has to go back. One that gets named in the third round of RICOs, where he'd been gone all this time. So he gets named in that one, goes back, does another year. While he's gone, his brother gets taken away again. He comes home, and I think he gets taken away again. The brother comes home, and I think his brother recently got, again, 112 years with nothing violent, all rugs. So another disparity. But I mean, folks make choices, and this is not a fair game, not a fair system. And that was an adult choice, but just amazes me how, PDF files can get probation. I ain't say he didn't break the law, but I'm saying 117 years could be used for some of these Epsteins, is what I'm saying. So while he is away and they're fighting an appeal to get some of his time gone, the only brother that is left gets unalived on his big sister's birthday, and they literally call themselves twins. And I believe his birthday would be in like 3 days. He would have been 40. So there's that. So rest up, Tom C. That's crazy. Yeah, he would have been 40. We all are turning 40, 41. Like we're all the same age. We all grew up together, went to Directions for Youth, shortstop, Columbus Parks and Recs. Like we did all those little things together. I think I'll start posting some pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a little crazy, a little crazy, a little crazy. So I understand folks make decisions in life once they get grown, but nobody deserves to be taken up out of here for their decision. But I guess Florida sees this differently, because if Florida say this man took this woman up out of there in 02, then I kind of try to stay out of that argument, because wrong is wrong is wrong, and everybody, if you do something wrong, you're going to get in trouble, right? But it just amazes me how I can see people literally admit to the grape, and go home. Craziness. All right, I'm gonna get off of that. I'm gonna get into court because it's too much going on, and I didn't get to see my baby yesterday. That's a whole nother situation. I think that's really what's pissing me off. Folks get to playing with the kids, and yeah. So we gonna watch some court so I can get my spirits up. All right, let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, did everyone heed my admonition not to discuss this case with anyone? Yes. Not to let anyone discuss it with you? Not to do any independent research while you're away from us? And not to read or listen to any news accounts of this case? All right, thank you. I'm going to read to you some instructions, and then the attorneys will begin their opening statements. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been we need to swear them. Let's do that real quick.
Oh, you got this
command. Raise your right hands to be sworn, please. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that you will and truly try to case between the state of Florida and the defendant and render true verdict according to the law in the evidence of what you got? Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. So now I'm going to read some instructions that apply to this stage of the case. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected and sworn as the jury to try the case of the state of Florida versus Demorris Andy.
Okay, so they're in there. They are receiving instructions. Okay, we're going to hop to the opening statements.
I will turn it over to the attorneys to make their opening statements. On behalf of the state of Florida.
Please the court. Counsel. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Like we told y'all last week, my name is Ken Hunley, along with Richard Buxman, who is sitting at the council table with me. We represent the state of Florida in this proceeding. First of all, let me thank you for your service. Our system of justice has relied on jurors for well over 3 centuries. Without people just like you throughout history, our judicial system would fail to function. Without jurors, we do not have a judicial system. Because of that, you are extremely important to the system, and we sincerely do appreciate your service. We will try to make this process as painless as possible. But I understand that there are sacrifices that you will take to be here. We are sympathetic to that, and we will make every possible effort not to waste your time. Now, having said that, let's turn to what this case is really about. Like Judge Bunyan said, what I say in opening statement, what defense counsel says in opening statement, is not evidence. This is what we expect the evidence will show you. With that, let me try to tell you the story about what this case is really about. In 2002, Teresa Ann Green lived in Orlando, Florida. She worked at Florida Hospital. Her address was apartment 11 at 3216 Cornell Avenue, which is within the city limits of Orlando. Across the hall,
Not Perry Mason.
apartment 12. This is a second-story apartment.
Oh, you got to whistle when you talk. You got to get the mic, sir.
On one side of the stairwell landing, apartment 12 on the other side of the stairwell landing. Joseph and Joyce Butler lived in apartment 12. Mr. Hunter, who was known to the residents of this apartment building as Mike, was renting a room from an individual who lived in apartment 9, which was downstairs from apartments 11 and 12. On the evening of May the 26th, 2002, there was a small party hosted by Joyce and Joseph Butler. And let me back up just a minute. You will hear from both Joseph and Joyce Butler. However, you will hear from Joyce Butler somewhat out of order. She came down sick over the weekend and will be testifying remotely, so she will be later in the day. Logically, she would testify right after or right before Joseph Butler, but we're having to make accommodations because she came down with COVID. So we're adjusting on the fly for that. Anyway, Teresa Ann Green was last seen alive about 2:30 in the morning, May the 26th. 2:30 in the morning is when Joyce Butler shut the party down. She had to go to work the next day. So Joseph Butler kicked everybody out. Teresa Ann Green was attending this party with a gentleman then known to everyone as Mike, and we know that was Demorris Hunter. Everybody leaves the party. Everyone returns to their residences. Mr. Hunter and Ms. Green go to apartment 11. A few minutes later, a lady named Lida Green, I believe is her name, who is Ms. Butler's daughter, goes over to check on
Good morning.
Green.
That's as loud as it go. Good God.
Says she was upset, but she's calm now. A few minutes later. she goes,
Okay, there we go. We can get some.
knocks on the door, there's no answer. Now, 7 o'clock the next morning. Mr. Hunter
Okay, it does have subtitles. Let's try.
and asks to speak to
Let's
Judge.
try this.
7 o'clock Sunday morning. Then, Mr. Green, I'm sorry, Mr. Butler is asked by Demorris Hunter to follow Mr. Hunter, who was driving the car belonging to Teresa Ann Green. I said a lot of Green, I meant a lot more, my apologies, too many names, I get them all mixed up. Anyway, Mr. Hunter had never been seen to drive Ms. Green's car before, but he was driving it this Sunday morning. And he asks Mr. Butler to follow him in a van that Mr. Hunter was using at the time, an older, former work van, I believe the evidence will show. And Mr. Butler does this. They set out driving towards Sanford. Mr. Hunter parks the victim's vehicle. Mr. Butler waits in the van, moves over to the passenger seat eventually, and then I think he may have gone in the Walgreens perhaps to get an aspirin or an Alka-Seltzer or something, and maybe cigarettes, I'm not sure which it was. Realized he didn't have his money with him, so he came back, got the passenger seat, and waited till Mr. Hunter got back in the car, or in the van. Mr. Hunter says to Mr. Butler, I did something really bad. Mr. Butler says, nope, I don't want to hear anything else. Let's just go back home. So they drive the van, Mr. Hunter driving, return back to Fordale Avenue. Last time Mr. Hunter seen him. Ms. Green, like I said, works at Florida Hospital. She did not report for work on the 26th or on the 27th. So then her son and relative call law enforcement. Law enforcement arrives. They go in or enter Ms. Green's apartment. They find a hole in the drywall that's roughly shoulder width. You'll see a photograph of it, I believe. They find a lady's purse on the bed. It's been dumped out, all the contents strewn all over the bed. And they find a broken lady's wristwatch in the bathroom that has blood on it. Law enforcement, like I said, is on the scene. They speak with the butlers. They learned about the trip to Sanford. They asked Sanford police to look for Ms. Green's vehicle. They find it in the Walgreens parking lot, just where Joseph Butler said it to them. Sanford Fire is called to the scene as well to assist in gaining entry into the vehicle. By this time, Orlando Police Department detectives and crime scene personnel are on scene, as well as Sanford Police and Sanford Fire. They ultimately succeed, fire ultimately succeeds in forcing entry into the vehicle. I believe they popped one of the little vent wings that we don't have anymore on cars that you had back then. Somehow you either broke it or popped it out, gained access to the car. Found a body attached to the trunk, wrapped up in a sheet. That body turned out to be that of Teresa Ann Green. And while this is happening, the investigation is also ongoing at the apartment. You've got two things going on at the same time here. The van belonged to another individual, and like I said, it was being made available to Mr. Hunter for his use. The van is ultimately reported as stolen. The van is ultimately found burning on the side of the road in Houston, Texas. A warrant by this time had been issued for and Mr. Hunter was ultimately taken into custody in Houston, Texas. This is an overview of what we expect the evidence to show. I've not talked about every single witness. That's for a later time. This is an overview. You will hear from various technical witnesses. You will hear from the medical examiner who will describe Ms. Green's death by strangulation. You will hear from an arson investigator. You will hear from crime scene investigators. You'll hear from detectives, and you'll hear from civilian witnesses. At the conclusion of this evidence, the state will ask you to return the verdict finding Mr. Hunter guilty as charged of murder in first degree. Thank you.
Mr. Self?
Good morning, members of the jury. On behalf of Mr. Marrero and Mr. Hunter, again, we would like to thank you for your service as well. As counsel said, we could not do this without your participation. And, we know that you will pay attention to the evidence that is presented and do your job as instructed by the court. This case is not about speculation. It's not about suspicion. It's not about assumptions. It's about proof. Whether the state of Florida can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this was a premeditated first-degree murder. They cannot. What you will hear in this courtroom is a tragic story. A tragic story about too much alcohol on the part of Ms. Green and Mr. Butler, tempers that were flaring, a series of chaotic events that spiraled out of control. But what you will not hear is any credible, reliable evidence that this defendant planned, intended, or carried out a deliberate killing. Before I go into what we anticipate the evidence to show, in essence, we're asking you to bake a cake. Before I do that, it's probably important that I give you a little bit of directions in terms of what you can consider. And we anticipate at the close of the case, the judge will read to you a jury instruction with regard to the weighing of the evidence. And I think it's important, before you hear any evidence, that you're reminded about what you can consider when you are weighing the evidence. It's up to you to decide what evidence is reliable. You should use your common sense in deciding which is the best evidence and which evidence should not be relied upon in considering your verdict. You may find some of the evidence not reliable or less reliable than other evidence. You should consider how the witness acted as well as what they said. Some things that you should consider are: did the witness seem to have an opportunity to see or know the things about which the witness testified? Did the witness seem to have an accurate memory? Was the witness honest and straightforward in answering the attorney's questions? Did the witness have some interest in how the outcome should be decided? Does the witness testimony agree with other testimony and other evidence in this case? Has the witness been offered or received any money or preferred treatment or benefit in order to get the witness to testify? Had any pressure or threat been used against the witness that affected the truth of the witness's testimony? And did the witness at some time or other time make a statement that is inconsistent with the testimony that they gave in court? Has the witness been convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor involving dishonesty or false statement? And does the witness have a general reputation for dishonesty or truthfulness? Whether the state has met its burden of proof does not depend on the number of witnesses that are called or upon the number of exhibits that are offered, but instead upon the nature and quality of the evidence presented. The fact that a witness is employed as a law enforcement officer does not mean that his or her testimony deserves more or less consideration than that of any other witness. Expert witnesses are like other witnesses, with one exception. The law allows and permits an expert witness to give his or her opinion. However, An expert's opinion is only reliable when given on a subject about which you believe them to be an expert. Like other witnesses, you may believe or disbelieve all or any part of an expert's testimony. It is entirely proper for a lawyer to talk to witnesses about the testimony the witness would give if called to the courtroom. The witness should not be discredited for talking to the lawyer about their testimony. And you may rely upon your own conclusion about the credibility of any witness. A juror may believe or disbelieve all or any part of the evidence or the testimony of any of the witnesses. Let's start with what we actually know. We know there are 3 locations that are involved in this particular case. The first location, you're going to hear the whole testimony with regard to the Bay Run apartments. They're flat, 2-story apartments. There's separate units. For a square rectangular unit, there's 4 units per building, 2 upstairs, 2 downstairs, connected by a very long and narrow stairwell. It's about 14 steps from top to bottom, and when you walk down the stairwell, you can touch both sides. And that turns out to be very critically important in this case. Mr. Hunter was renting apartment 9, which was sort of, if you're looking at the building downstairs on the left, which you were in that location. Teresa Green lived in apartment 11, which was the upper left-hand quadrant apartment, and the Butlers resided in the upper right-hand apartment. And we believe the testimony is going to show that on the Saturday night of the 25th and into the morning of the 26th, there was a party that was going on in the Butler's apartment. And in that party, they were having a good time. They were sitting around the table, talking. Teresa Green had been drinking. Mr. Butler had been drinking. And at some point, Mrs. Butler, who had to work at Florida Hospital the next morning, called her husband into the bedroom, asked him to keep it down. He comes storming out of the bedroom, slamming the door, visibly upset. She eventually comes out and asks him to turn the music down. He gets even more upset. He knocks over a lamp. He knocks over a fan. And he opens the door and orders everybody out of the house. On the way out of the house, Teresa Green slaps Mr. Butler across the face. And Mr. Butler slaps Teresa Green across her face, such that it causes her nose to bleed. And her blood is left on the door frame of apartment 12.
What?
Lisa Moore, we anticipate, who's the adult daughter, Lisa Moore Turner, is actually her name at the current moment, is the adult daughter of the Butlers. And she says that she leaves the apartment at that point when Joseph is so upset because he won't let her use, his own stepdaughter, won't let her use the house phone. Remember 2002, this is pre-cell phones, right? We had to rely on house phones to make phone calls. But she wants to call her brother for a reason that you'll hear, whatever reason you'll hear during the testimony. And her son, who's a child at that point, is, in her words, sleeping in Miss Green's apartment. So
Definitely.
on him and retrieve him and bring.
That's more than toxicology.
She goes into the apartment, she uses the phone, she calls her brother, checks on Teresa Green, who's still hot under the collar, and we anticipate that Lisa Moore will testify that Mr. Hunter, who's known as Mike to all of these folks in the apartment complex, was attempting to, he had been attempting to keep Miss Green and Mr. Butler apart from each other because they're still mad at each other and they're still having words and they're still trying to get at each other. And he's trying to play Switzerland, keep the two of them apart. And while all of that is happening at the top of these stairs in between apartments 11 and 12, we believe the testimony will be the Butlers
Waking up the whole damn building.
Teresa Green was grabbing onto Mike, and what Mr. Hunter was
Trying to get to his ass. He didn't slap them.
Why are you trying to fight me? And Miss Green was kicking at Mr. Hunter, and that trying to still get at Joseph Butler, who had that slapped her across the face and caused her to have a bloody nose. And during that tussle at the top of the stairs, that Mr. Hunter fell over backwards down the stairs on his back, and that Ms. Green fell over top of him, and they fell all the way from the top of the stairs to the bottom of the stairs, all 14 stairs. We believe Lisa Moore will testify that she saw all of that take place and happen, and that she
Joseph is be laying hands.
saw Ms. Green get back up, and that Mr. Hunter got back up, and that they went back up into apartment 11. Ms. Moore will say that she got her son. It's 2:30 in the morning now. She brought her son down to her car, down at the bottom of the stairwell of the apartment, placed her son in that car, and then she went back and forth, up and down the stairs. She knocked on the door, trying to use the phone again, presumptively to call her brother again.
He wasn't about to let you call your brother on him, whoop his ass.
At that point, Mr. Hunter came to the door and said, Ms. Green is.
And your mama's a fool.
Now is not a good time to come in. And that she then went back into her stepfather and mother's apartment.
Real quick, while he's right, Kathy, this sounds like some real craziness. And 2:30 a.m. when I gotta go to work in the morning, I wish Big Uncle would throw a party. Okay? Sound like Joseph liked to lay hands. But before, real quick, we're gonna take a quick pause because I don't want y'all to think I forgot about y'all. Davion Murphy did have a hearing, but the hearing was 15 minutes long. Okay? 15 minutes. I wasn't gonna waste y'all time to get up there. By the time we got on there and start watching, it had been over. Basically, in so many words, Davion Murphy's motions that were still needed to be sussed out were about his own statements to certain witnesses, and if they were going to be able to use his own statements that he allegedly said during the mess. Okay. Oh, Jesus, really? I'm sorry. So, and I'm up here trying to whisper because the kids are asleep. Now, all in all, Davion Murphy's statements, his alleged statements are coming in. That's just what it's going to be. But literally, it was 15 minutes. So that's why we didn't watch it. Yes, there was a hearing, but no, it was about 15 minutes. And y'all know Gerhard Gerard is going back on today. That Hawaii tried that man crazy. Okay, let's get back to these opening statements.
And as she was going back and forth, she waited at the bottom of the stairs. Her brother eventually arrived at 3 o'clock. There was another neighbor that they were actually
It was 15 minutes, CC, I promise you.
And she said she knocked at the top of the stairs again, but no one answered. And that was the last time that she saw Teresa. The other location that we're talking about factually that we believe the testimony will come out is that testimony will come out that Teresa Green's vehicle was found in Sanford.
It's craziness, really. Craziness. I think it was one where he might have said, I forgive you, or don't worry about it, or something like that, to Howard after Julio Fulio was taken out, like things that just imply that he may have done something. There was another one where he said, the debt is paid, or all is paid, or something to that nature, but basically him implying that there is no more back and forth between him and Howard now. He's good. Everything is atoned. He's all right. He's one with the universe now, because he doesn't exactly say why, but all of this happens after Julio Fulio is unalived. With various folks in various ways, Instagram, text messages.
These apartments are on the corner of Par and I-4, flat top roofs right there at that location. If we were taking that western on-ramp to I-4 from Par, that's the location. Those apartments are right there at that location. And the location of Teresa Green's car is located at CVS in Sanford, Florida, 11 miles or 12 miles up I-4, about 5 miles east, in the heart of Sanford. And that Joseph Butler will testify, and Joyce Butler will testify, that Mr. Hunter knocked on their door at 7 o'clock in the morning and asked Mr. Butler to drive his van, the white van that he had use of, to that location, and that left Teresa Green's vehicle there. Again, it's very important, I think, for you guys to make decisions about what evidence you find to be credible versus not credible. And after that, Mr. Butler allegedly went in the store to get an Alka-Seltzer. He says he came out. He says that Mr. Hunter said, "I did a bad thing." He says nothing else. He says, "I don't want to hear anything else." He gets in the car and they drive back, and that's the end of that conversation. And that was 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, May 26th. Miss Green's son doesn't come back to the apartment until Monday, the 27th, at around 3 in the afternoon. He gets a phone call from his grandmother, or calls his grandmother. After he gets to the apartment, he finds the apartment door unlocked, the lights are on, the contents of the purse are upside down on the bed. There's a broken watch on the floor that he then puts on the bathroom counter. He then goes and knocks on the Butler's apartment door, apartment 12, and Joseph Butler never tells him the truth. Never says, "Your mother fell down the stairs on Saturday night. Your mother slapped me in the face and I slapped her back on Saturday night." Mr. Butler never says, "Mr. Hunter asked me to drive and follow your mother's vehicle to Sanford." He never says any of that to the middle school age child of Mrs. Green who came back from spending the weekend at a friend's house. It's not until later that evening, when the police arrive at the location, that the Butlers then decide that they're going to talk to the police or cooperate with the police. So during all of this, Joseph Butler Sunday morning never calls the police. Sunday afternoon never calls the police. Monday morning never calls the police. Lisa Moore never calls the police on Sunday morning, on Sunday afternoon, on Monday morning, on Monday afternoon. Mrs. Butler never calls the police on Monday morning or Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon or Monday morning or Monday afternoon. It's not till the police show up, because Octavius Hayes, the daughter of Teresa Green, and Teresa Green's mother arrive at the location saying, "I've got a call her since she didn't go to work on Monday morning. We don't know where she is." The other location that we're talking about is in Texas, Houston, Texas. And the van that Mr. Hunter had access to or driving to is found burnt in a location on the line of the city of Houston and Harris County, which is the county that Houston is in. You'll hear testimony from an arson investigator that will say that the vehicle was burnt out, but the arson investigator will say, "Never took any samples from inside the vehicle, didn't pull any DNA or fingerprints, have no idea when it actually burnt, knew where the fire started, had no idea what the accelerant was, couldn't tell you if Mrs. O'Leary's cow kicked over a lantern in the back of that van and started the fire. And that there's no beneficial evidence or no evidence linking Demorris Hunter to that van, to that fire, or to that location." You'll also hear forensically from the experts in this case that the Oldsmobile that Ms. Green drove, where unfortunately, again, in this tragic story, her body was found in the back of, that there's no DNA that links Mr. Hunter to driving that vehicle. There's no fingerprints on the trunk of that vehicle. There's no fingerprints on the steering wheel or on a door handle or a window or anything that links Mr. Hunter to that location. There's no videotape inside the Walgreens, outside the Walgreens, or anywhere between Parr and Sanford that links Mr. Hunter having driven that vehicle to that location. And you'll hear forensically from the city of Orlando forensic experts that there is nothing that links Mr. Hunter forensically to harming Mrs. Green in any way. Not his DNA transferred onto her, not any DNA in the apartment, not a fingerprint on anything, with the exception of some dishware in the kitchen, which would indicate that he had been in the apartment previously socially and had either touched a bowl or touched a coffee cup. You will hear from a medical examiner that this is not a calculated execution. This is obviously the events of that Saturday night and Sunday morning are confusion and instability as to what happens to people whose judgment is clouded by alcohol consumption. You will hear that Ms. Green had a blood alcohol level of almost a 0.30, which is almost 4 times the legal limit to drive. And that at that level of alcohol impairment, that is severe impairment, which can cause death. You'll hear the medical examiner say, if her body was found in her bed, in her apartment, I would have believed that she died of alcohol poisoning. In addition, you'll hear the medical examiner say that the hyoid bone, bones in the neck, which often fracture during manual strangulation, that those were not fractured, that those were dislocated. And that's a critical piece of evidence, we believe. You will see no signs of manual strangulation in terms of bruising, or there's a specific scientific word called petechiae, which looks like little ant bites when someone has been strangled. The blood vessels in their neck pop, and the blood vessels in their eyes get little red dots. That's called petechiae. Listen for that. You'll see an absence of that in this case. There are no eyewitnesses to any killing. No one saw my client harm this woman in any way in her apartment. There's no forensic evidence tying Mr. Hunter to the apartment, with the exception of the fingerprints I mentioned earlier on the dishware. The state wants you to conclude that this was an intentional murder, yet their own medical evidence opens the door to accidental death. Talked about the Butlers, which we believe are the state's star witnesses in this case. The fact that they did not notify the police, the fact that they were untruthful to the middle school age child of the victim, and they were initially uncooperative or less than forthcoming to investigators. Their testimony is inconsistent, it is self-serving, it is unreliable, and they have every reason to distance themselves from this situation that started in their apartment under their own roof. Mr. Hunter did leave to go to Texas. And leaving alone does not prove murder, does not prove premeditation, does not prove intent. Sometimes people panic in situations, but also you'll hear, we believe you'll hear evidence that Mr. Hunter was, this is May 28th or 25th, 26th, 27th. The 27th is Memorial Day weekend, 2002. The location that Mr. Hunter was renting, that individual had to be out at the end of the month. And we will argue to you, or believe that the testimony will show that the reason there was a party or a celebration in the Butler's apartment was to celebrate Mr. Hunter leaving that location. He was actually already leaving. At the end of this trial, when you've heard all the evidence, not assumptions, not speculation, but evidence, you'll be left with reasonable doubts. Doubts about how this woman really died, doubt about what happened in that apartment, about perhaps what happened on that stairwell, and doubt about who, if anyone, is criminally responsible for her death. In our system of justice, doubt is not a weakness, it is a safeguard. It is the law. At the end of the case, we will come and we will ask you to render.
So are they about to try to get into it and try to say that Joseph Butler, since he the one slapped her across the face, that maybe depending on the daughter, I think anybody else feel like they may try to angle this as Joseph is already out here laying hands on folks, so ain't too far fetched that he'd lay hands on folks, not let his stepdaughter call for backup. May have had a history of this and therefore could have possibly. Anybody else feel like that's where he leaning? I don't know. It's real early.
We believe only verdict that the evidence proves in this case or doesn't prove, and that's a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you, Mr. Self. State, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Joseph Butler.
Oh, we're gonna start off with Mr. Slapper. Oh yeah, he looked like he from the Slapper tribe. Yeah. Okay.
You can be seated, sir. Sir, could you state your name and spell your last name for the court reporter, please?
Joseph Butler, Butler.
Thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir.
One,
What do you do for a living now?
I do floors and crossing guard.
Okay. What kind of work have you done in the past?
Floors, worked in the recovery room.
Yeah, that's
did,
dependent.
maintenance.
Did
That's about it.
you say you're a crossing guard now?
Yeah,
Where do you do that?
in Orlando.
Like a school crossing or?
Yeah.
Let me direct your attention back to 2002. What did you do for a living back then?
I was working at the hospital.
What did you do for the
I
hospital?
was doing floors at the time,
Okay, I see. And where did you live back then?
in the apartments.
Do you remember the name of the apartment?
Nah,
Oh, this is gonna be like pulling teeth.
Was the apartment that you lived in located at 3216 Cornell Avenue, specifically apartment 12?
yes,
All right. Was that in Orange County?
I think so, yes.
Okay. May I approach her?
Yes.
Showing you Mark the State's Exhibit H for identification. You recognize what that photograph shows?
Yes.
What is that?
That's the apartment.
Is that the apartment that you lived in? It's kind of an updated picture. of
Yeah,
it.
that's it. That's it.
Does it fairly accurately show what the apartment looked like then?
Yes.
Kind of state would move H into evidence as states 7.
Any objection? It will be admitted as state 7.
Is that published?
May.
Okay. Is this the apartment that I just showed you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. How was this apartment complex set up? How many floors, first of all?
First and second floor.
I'm sorry?
First and second.
Okay. So we see, I don't know, can you see down here? Okay, if you turn around and look behind you, we see a couple entrances. How many entrances were there to get into the main apartment complex?
2, I think.
Okay, and are those below like the lights that we see above by the roof?
Yes.
All right.
Now, if you come in there, there's just one entrance in there going in there, you look upstairs and downstairs.
And if you walk into the main entrance, which is the stairwell, how many apartments are on the first floor that you can access from that main entrance?
On the first floor?
Yes, sir.
2,
Okay, and if you walk up the stairs, how many apartments are on the top floor?
2,
Where was your apartment, apartment number 12, located?
upstairs, on the right.
And who did you live there with at the time?
My wife and
What's her name?
Joyce Butler.
What did she do back in 2002?
She worked at the hospital.
Did you know a woman named Teresa Green?
That was my neighbor.
Can I approach her? Show you what's been marked as states with an I for identification. Do you recognize the person in that photograph?
Yes.
Who is that? That's right.
It must be.
Your feet.
I told you about it.
You have a medical issue with your feet?
Yeah.
You doing okay?
I'm all right right now. Go ahead.
Who is in this photograph?
Teresa.
Does this fairly accurately show what she looked like back then?
Yes.
This time statement moved I into evidence as states 8.
It will be admitted as states 8. You may.
Is this Miss Green we see in the photo here?
Yes.
Where did she live in relation to your apartment?
Across the hall.
So if you were in 12, was she in 11 right across?
Yes.
What did she do for a living?
She worked at the hospital, but I just didn't never know what it really was.
It appears that you worked at the hospital, so did your then wife, and so did Miss Green. Did the people in this apartment complex, did a lot of them work in the hospital?
Yes, most of them all of.
Do you ever remember Miss Green working in the labor and delivery department?
I know I just see her there, yeah.
Did you meet Miss Green by virtue of just her being your neighbor?
Yes.
Had you been in her apartment following the period of time that she went missing?
Which you went missing?
Yes, after she went missing and after you found out that she had been killed.
Yeah, I went in there.
Okay.
Her son came and got me.
Did you see anything unusual in her apartment when you looked in there?
Yes, there's a big hole in the wall.
How long had you known Miss Green by the time she was killed?
I don't have a note. I haven't known her that long. Probably about 3 months, maybe 3 or 4 months, something like that. I don't know for sure.
You mentioned her son. Did she have children?
Yes,
You know how many?
I think 2 boys, as far as I know.
Were there times that you would invite her over to your apartment just to hang out with you and your wife?
Well, not really. It was every now and then my wife would be talking with her, but I never invited her over. Like
Were there times that you kind of had get-togethers and she would come over with some other people?
we just said one time.
Okay, I see. This time, pursuant to judicial notice, Your Honor, the state would move states G into evidence. It's a calendar from May of 2002. That states 9.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
It will be admitted as states Exhibit 9.
Let me direct your attention to late Saturday, May 25th of 2002, into the next morning. You mentioned you had a get-together at your apartment this one time.
Yes,
Okay. Was that the last time that you saw Teresa Green?
yes.
About when did this party start up?
It really wasn't a party.
Okay.
It was just that we was planning on having a barbecue the next day. And she had got her drinks and everything, and
She meaning who?
she
She said she got drinks. Who got
got drinks. She just got drinks when we went to the store.
Who got drinks?
She did.
Your mom, your wife, or
My wife wasn't no drinker.
Okay, so Miss Green got drinks.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So when we went to the store and came back, she was already lit up.
She had been drinking already.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She was already.
Where'd you guys go to get the meat?
Publix.
Who'd you go with?
Mars. Mars,
What did you know Demorris by then? What was his name back then?
Mike.
So you guys go and get the meat at Publix, you get back. Who was at your apartment?
When we got back,
Yes.
Teresa and my wife.
Okay. So at this point, is it the four of you kind of hanging out at the apartment barbecuing?
Well, no, we went barbecuing. It's the next day.
Okay, it was for the
We
next
was
day.
just going to get the stuff for the next day.
I understand. Who is Lisa Moore?
That's my stepdaughter.
All right. No, it's been a while, but do you see the person that you knew as Mike here in the courtroom?
Yes,
Would you please point him out and tell me what he's wearing?
white shirt,
Does he have a jacket or no jacket?
no jacket.
May the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant?
Record will still reflect.
Approach.
You may.
Showing you Mr. Marcus Stacy's with a J for identification. You recognize the person in that photo?
Yes,
Who is that?
Mike.
Is that fairly accurately depict what he looked like
Yes,
back in 2006?
yes, yes.
This time the state would move J into evidence as states 10.
No objection.
It will be admitted as states 10.
Was this a photo? May I pull the term?
You may. Yep.
Was this a photograph that you actually provided the detectives when they were investigating this case?
Yes.
Describe the defendant's appearance back then.
His appearance,
Yes, sir.
he looked just like that on that picture. He's right there all the time.
Where did the defendant live in relation to you back then?
Downstairs. I don't know what apartment number, but he was downstairs in the same cluster.
Okay, so it was like right down the same stairwell as yours?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Do you remember if his apartment number was 9?
I'm not for sure about the apartment.
Did the defendant work at the hospital with you guys?
No,
About how long had you known the defendant the night that this get-together happened?
wasn't known. Probably about 3 weeks, a month.
A relatively short
Yeah,
time.
sure.
Did the defendant live in that apartment right downstairs alone or with anybody else?
Well,
Did other people live in that apartment before he did?
yeah.
Do you remember who?
What was his name? I think his name was
That's okay.
Humphrey. His
Humphrey.
name was Humphrey.
Okay.
Him and his girlfriend stayed there.
So this get-together at your apartment, what was going on? I mean, what were you guys doing? Just hanging out?
Yeah, well, when we got back, she was already about too drunk already. And we was just drinking and talking. And then, my wife had went to sleep and she came out and said she was too loud. So
It was too loud?
yeah, and I turned the radio down and she said she'd come out again, she got to go home. And so she came out again because it was still too loud. So she told her, you had to go home. I said, okay, we'll do this tomorrow.
All right.
So,
Let me stop you there real quick. At the point where this party is shut down, had you been drinking?
yeah, a little bit, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Had Miss Green been drinking? You said she was
Yes,
pretty drunk?
Mhm.
Okay. What about the defendant? Had he been drinking?
No,
Was Lisa Moore there as well at this time, your stepdaughter?
no,
At some point, did she arrive?
yeah.
Why did your then wife, want the party to shut down?
She had to go to work.
Okay. So at about 2:30 or so, is this when the party basically is shut down by your wife?
Was it that time? I don't know. But maybe.
Okay, sometime in the early morning hours.
Yes, yes.
Understood. Except for your then wife, Joyce Butler, getting a little upset at you guys for being loud. She's got to go to work the next morning. Were there any problems with anybody at this point during this party?
No, no.
So when your wife shuts the party down and you're basically telling everybody, look, we got to go. What happens between you and Teresa Green at that point?
Oh, well, you got mad and slapped me. And I tapped her back. I didn't really slap her. So I just tapped her and said, let's go home. Let's
Tapped.
tomorrow.
And where'd you slap her?
It's the same place she slapped me,
Where?
right there in the face.
Okay, so she slaps you in the face, you slap her back in the
Yeah.
face, and we're like, we're done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what caused her to slap you in the face? Was there an argument? Was
No, no argument. She just hauled off and slapped.
Okay. Did that happen inside your apartment or
Inside
outside?
the apartment.
I'm sorry?
Inside.
Inside, okay. After she slaps you in the face, you slap her in the face, tell the jury what happens then.
Okay, we goes outside the door by the stairs, and Mac gets on the first floor.
What was on the first?
First steps on the stairs, and she steps in front of him and say, "Why you let Joe slap you? Slap and hit me." She said, "You hit him first, so he really didn't hit you, he just tapped you." And the next thing I know, she put her foot up and kicked him. Tried to kick him downstairs, and he grabbed her foot, and they both went down there. And then I was asking him when he got up, was he all right? She went to cussing and fussing. I said, "Well, I'll see y'all tomorrow." So I went back in the apartment, and I went to bed.
Okay, let me stop you there. So outside of your apartment and the stairwell is when she basically kicks at the defendant, and they both go tumbling down the stairs.
Yes.
And at this point, is this when was your stepdaughter there at this point?
I don't think she was there yet.
Okay.
I'm not for sure, but I don't think she was.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Nay.
Showing you State's Exhibit K for identification. Can you take a look at those two photos and tell me if you recognize what they show?
Yeah.
Can you take a look at the other one as well, please?
It's another one? I can't see but one. Oh, it's on the other side. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do you recognize
Yes,
those photos?
yes.
What do they show generally?
Hmm?
What do they show?
A rug. That's on there. Like it's tore up.
What area of the apartment or the building does that show?
That's the top floor.
Okay. Is that the stairwell?
Yeah.
Okay. Do these fairly and accurately depict what the stairwell looked like?
Yes.
Okay. I know there's some paper down
Mhm.
there that law enforcement that wasn't there.
Yeah, that wasn't there.
Okay. At this time, State will move K into evidence to State's 11, or, yeah, 11.
No objection, Your Honor.
It will be admitted as States 11.
Publish.
May.
Showing you photograph 1 of State's 11. Where is the entrance to your apartment if you walk up? Are you the right or the left?
I'm right.
And Miss Green's then would have been to the left?
Yes.
And showing you photograph 2 of State's 11. It's just, what does this show? You can turn around and look if you have to.
Oh, that's the stairwell.
Okay, looking down from your apartment area?
Yes,
And is that the stairwell that they tumbled down that?
yes, yes.
When they tumbled down the stairs, did they go all the way down to the bottom part?
All the way to the bottom.
When they landed at the bottom of the stairwell, did you see them actually get up?
Yes,
Did anyone appear to be severely injured in any way?
no,
Anyone screaming in pain or anything like that?
no.
Did you see what they did after they got up?
The only thing I seen was her cursing and fussing, and me and my wife went back in the apartment.
Okay. So you and your wife go back to the apartment. Did you have to work the next day?
No,
Just your wife?
yes.
Just Joyce Butler, okay. Let me direct your attention to several hours later, now still on Sunday morning, May 26th. What happened Sunday morning at around 7 o'clock in the morning?
Well, that's when I got up, but stuff happened before then.
You still had what, I'm sorry?
There's some stuff happened before then. Like, I was asleep and she kept telling me that he kept coming up, trying to get me to follow him in the car to go take the car back to the car lot. And I looked at the clock and said, ain't no car lot open this time on, I'm not going nowhere. So I just went back to sleep.
Okay. Were you woken up again shortly after?
Yes, I woke up again, so, and I still didn't move right then. So, but when that time you was talking about 7, that's when I really got up and he had left the keys in there.
No, who did? Who came with the keys?
Mike,
Okay, the defendant.
Yeah.
All right, so explain to me how that happened. Did he come into your apartment? Did he come into the bedroom? What
came in
happened?
the bedroom.
Okay.
And I was still laying there. And he left the keys and he said, man, I'll be downstairs.
Did he tell you what he wanted you to do?
You had to follow him to the gas to take the car back. We supposed to do that anyway. She wanted me to follow him yesterday too, but that day too. But I didn't see her.
Okay. So he asked you to take the keys and follow him to.
Yeah, I was in the van.
You were in a van.
Yeah, he was in the car, her car.
Describe the van to me.
Oh, the van was white with a green something, green only van, it's an old van.
Okay. And was that the vehicle you drove?
Yes,
What vehicle did the defendant drive?
he drove her vehicle.
What car was that?
It was an Oldsmobile,
Do you remember what color?
grayish white or something like that. Grayish white,
Grayish white.
yeah, something like that.
Did the defendant say anything about where Teresa Green was?
No,
Did you see Teresa Green at any time this morning?
no,
So when the defendant asked you to follow him while he's driving the victim's car, follow him in the van, did you agree?
mm-hmm,
Said yes?
yes.
You can't take,
Okay. My bad.
Was that van owned, to your knowledge, owned by the defendant?
No,
Do you know who owned the van?
guy named Pete on the van.
Do you know Pete's real name?
No,
Did you ever know a man named Henry Fields?
Henry, yeah. Yeah.
Henry Fields?
Yeah. I think that's his last name.
I'm sorry?
No, not Henry. Oh, it's Humphrey. I know Humphrey, not Henry.
Okay. So, to your knowledge, the defendant is driving Pete's white van.
Yes.
Understood. Had you ever seen the defendant drive Teresa's Oldsmobile before that day?
No.
Could you see anybody else in Miss Green's white Oldsmobile except for the defendant?
Yeah, no, I couldn't see nobody.
Where did you end up going following the defendant?
Ended up in Sanford.
And was the car lot in Sanford or was it car lot?
I didn't know where the car lot was. I'm just following.
You're just following. All right. So where did you end up in Sanford?
At a Walgreens.
How far away is this Walgreens from your apartment complex?
Ooh. Well, then, that's a long way. That's at least 10 miles or more, maybe longer.
Can I approach her? Show me what the market states to the L. Do you recognize the vehicle in that photograph?
That's the vehicle.
What is that?
It's an Oldsmobile.
Is that
Miss
Green's
Green,
vehicle?
yeah, yes,
Does this fairly inaccurately depict what her vehicle looked like back then?
yes.
This time statement with L into evidence it states 12.
No objection, Your Honor.
It will be admitted as states 12.
Publish.
May.
Is this the photograph I just showed you?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Obviously, we see in the photograph here, the trunk is open, but when we left the vehicle at Walgreens, was it closed?
Yes.
All right. So what happens when you and the defendant arrive at Walgreens?
Well, when they pulled in there, you pulled to the side of the building, and I went inside the store to get an Alka-Seltzer because I had a hangover
To get Alka-Seltzer for your hangover? Okay.
and forgot my wallet and couldn't get it, so I had to come back and sit in the van. I sat in the van. He stayed in the car for a good while. I don't know what he was doing, but he was in there doing something. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
And I just sat there and waited. Then he comes back. Then he said he messed up. I told him I don't want to hear. Just take me back home.
Let me back you up. When you said you waited in the van,
Yes.
when the defendant got back to the van, where did he sit? Driver's or passenger seat?
He got it. I think first he was in the passenger seat and then he drove.
Okay. So who drove the van back to the apartment complex?
I think he did.
Okay. Bless you. After he got into the van with you,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned he said something. What did he say to you?
He said I messed up.
Messed up?
Now I say, I don't know what I hear, man. You done messed up and way over here. You got me in this mess.
Did he give you any more details as far as what he meant by
I don't
that?
know. I didn't even want to know what he was talking
Okay.
about. I kind of figured something went wrong with him and her.
Did you find it unusual that he asked you to follow him and Teresa somewhere, or follow in Teresa's car, but then left the car at Walgreens?
Yes. I found out when I didn't see her come and tell me that.
Do you know what he did with the keys to Teresa's car?
No.
Where did you guys go after you left Walgreens in that white van?
Back to the house. I went back home.
During your interaction with the defendant that morning, did you see any obvious injuries on him?
Well, I seen a little redness on his face, like, but other than that, I didn't see no,
Any blood,
no,
any torn clothing?
I didn't see nothing.
Once you guys arrive back at your apartment complex, what happens? What do you do?
I told him I'm going back to bed.
Okay, and did you?
Yeah,
Do you know where he went?
I don't know, but when I woke up, he was gone.
From the point that you left him at that apartment complex that morning after dropping Teresa Green's car off at Walgreens to today, have you seen him?
Have I seen him? No.
The next day, I believe it's Monday, the 27th, did you make contact with Teresa Green's son, Octavius?
Yes.
Did he ask you anything?
Yeah.
What did he ask you?
He asked me have I seen his mama. And I told him I hadn't seen her since it was Saturday, I guess.
Since when? I'm sorry.
Saturday, I think that was when the last time, Saturday.
Did you give him and did you tell him anything about the whole
No.
slapping thing?
No,
Was it significant to you to tell him that?
no, it wasn't.
Did you tell him anything about following the defendant dropping the car off?
No, I didn't tell him about that either.
Why not?
I don't know, I just didn't tell him.
Okay. At some point that same Monday evening, did law enforcement come and interview you?
Yes,
Is that the time that you provided law enforcement the photo of the defendant that we saw earlier?
yes,
Did they also ask permission to go into your apartment and look around and take photographs?
yeah,
Did you allow them?
yeah.
A couple of days later, did a female detective come to you and show you a series of photographs?
Yes,
Did she ask you if you recognized the person you knew as Mike?
yes,
Were you able to pick Mike out?
yes.
May I approach him? Show me what's been marked as state's exhibit. M as in Mary. You take a look at that exhibit and tell me if you recognize your signature
Yeah, that's right.
and your initials.
Yes,
Is this fairly, is this a true, accurate copy of the document you filled out?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. No further questions at this time, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Cross-examination.
Morning, Mr. Butler. How are you? Sir?
All right.
All right. All right. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to try to pose the questions to you in such a way that you can easily answer yes or no. All right?
Okay.
Now, I wanted to, I'm actually going to break that rule right from the start, because I have some questions for you about the apartment complex where all this took place. The apartment complex where you lived and where Teresa Green lived was actually owned by Florida Hospital, is that
Yes,
correct?
yes,
And they rented it out to a lot of employees,
Yes.
presumably at a pretty decent price, I would guess.
yes,
I would imagine too that as a condition of your living in these apartments that were owned by Florida Hospital, you had to abide by their rules.
yeah,
So like you couldn't be getting in trouble or getting arrested or anything like that, or else they'd throw you out
right,
of the apartment, throw you out of your job, presumably as well.
yes,
So both you, your wife, and Teresa were all under this agreement or understanding about the apartment complex.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I can't really tell from the pictures that we've seen, but it looks like when you reach the top of the stairs, the doors are really, the doors to the apartment are really no wider than the hallway itself, correct? In other words, like, you don't like get to the top of the stairs and then go down the hall
no,
to get to the door. The door's right there.
yeah, yes,
It looks in the pictures that you could, with two hands, and I'm not a big guy, but
oh, well,
I
you
can touch
won't,
both doors.
you won't reach them,
I'm sorry,
you won't reach them,
you won't reach them? A little bit further than me?
yeah,
Okay, so I would suppose my reach might be 5 foot, 6, 5
Mm.
foot 7. I'm not a big guy. Probably you could touch both doors with your
maybe,
hands.
but I don't think,
You're a little taller than I am. Okay, so Miss Green lived in the apartment on the other side of that little hallway, and that landing would be probably, like, let's say if we made this side of the podium the door to her apartment, where would your door be? Like, if I'm moving over here, if you can see the distance between myself and the podium, where would your door be? About here, or closer, or further?
my door,
I'm sorry?
my door, my door,
Yes, your door.
to her door,
Right, yeah.
it's a little bit wider than that,
I'm sorry?
it's a little bit wider than that,
A little bit wider than that?
yeah,
Around here?
yeah,
Okay, so pretty close.
yeah,
And, we can't tell from these pictures, but would I be correct in assuming that the apartment, when you go in, like there's a wall in between both apartments? Like you have a wall and she has a wall that separates your apartments from each other? In other words, like if you go in your apartment, there would have been a big wall over here that separated your apartment from her apartment, correct?
I don't get you,
In other words, all that space up there was all one big space, and then it was divided in half. Well, let me ask you this way: do you know both apartments were about the same size?
yes, yes,
Okay, so that whole space was divided roughly in half
yes,
between both apartments.
somewhat like that, yeah.
Okay. All right, so now, and I want to remind you, I know this has been a really, really long time since this happened. And you've given a number of statements. Like, do you remember talking to the police the first time? It would have been really late at night, like after midnight.
Yes,
And then they came back and talked to you a second time.
yes,
And then probably around 10 years ago, you were deposed by lawyers, not us, but you had to come in and give a testimony under oath, and you were asked a lot of questions about it.
Yes.
Do you remember that? Did you have the opportunity to read all that stuff
No.
before you came in here? Okay. And like I said, it's been a long time, about almost 24 years since this happened. All right, so on the night that this you guys had this get together, Teresa Green, and you mentioned earlier under direct examination that Teresa Green had been your neighbor for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Isn't it true that she'd actually been your neighbor for like over 2 years?
Well, I don't even know about that.
You don't know. Do you remember ever telling the police that she had been your neighbor for like 2 years before? No. If would anything refresh your recollection if I showed it you? See if I can find it. Well, you remember on the night of May 28th, this is when you gave the first statement to the police a little after midnight. Okay, let me, may I approach the witness, Your Honor? Mr. Butler, let me show you a document. Do you recognize that? Have you seen that?
No.
Can you read what it says on the top?
Orlando Police Department, Orlando, Florida. Statement transcript.
Okay. And so do you remember giving a statement to the police the very first night, late at night, about what had happened?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember being asked by Detective Filippucci, sorry, how long have you lived there in the apartment? And your answer was about 2.5 years. Do you remember that?
Mm.
No? And then the detective asked you, have you ever had the opportunity to meet Teresa Green? And you said yes. And then he asked you, how long have you known Teresa? And you said about 2 years since I've been there.
Well, maybe that's true. I don't know.
Does that sound right?
I don't know how long I've been there.
I'm sorry?
I said, I don't know how long I have been at that time.
Okay. Well, but I mean, that's what you said.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Back in 2002.
Okay.
Okay. And do you remember describing your relationship with her and saying to the police that she was a good friend to you?
Yeah.
Is that a fair
Yes.
thing? And she was a nice person to you?
Yes.
So, Mr. Hunter, who was then known to you as Mike, had been living downstairs for just a little while, right? I think you said
Yeah.
about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You were aware that Mr. Hunter was seeing Miss Green romantically? That they were boyfriend, girlfriend?
No, it just surprised me that same day.
They told you that?
You know, when I seen them together, it surprised me that same day that when it happened.
Okay. And is it fair to say that in the time that Mike, Mr. Hunter, lived there and that he was known to you, you had never seen him ever be hostile or angry or strike Teresa or anything like that?
No.
As a matter of fact, on the night that this happened, there was no hostility between them,
No.
right? Right up until the sort of fight started between you and her.
Yeah.
Mike had never threatened her or hit her or been mean to her in any way.
I know, because they just had got together some kind of way. I don't know.
I'm sorry?
I say they just had got together, so I never seen them do nothing with her, talk to her,
Right.
any
Just
kind of
be
way.
nice to each other.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that on the night that this happened, that it sounds like only you and Teresa were drinking, right?
Yes.
When you and Mike got back from Publix, you mentioned earlier that Teresa was already Pretty drunk.
Yeah.
Do you remember what she was drinking?
What even drink? Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan, a rum?
Yes.
And do you know if it was a handle or just like a regular bottle?
Regular bottle.
I'm sorry?
Regular bottle.
A regular bottle.
Yeah.
She had drunk what?
I don't know how much.
You didn't know how much, but it was quite a bit.
Yeah.
And were you drinking the same thing?
He
that
said
night?
she was tossing it back.
Now, so at the time, you and Joyce had been married for how long? Do you recall?
About a year or two. About a year.
You're not married now, right?
Still married.
You're still married? Okay. All right. So the evening that this happens, you guys, your wife, Mr. Hunter, and Teresa Green were in your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you're playing music.
Yes.
You have some kind of stereo or boombox
Yes.
or something along those lines.
Yes.
And Teresa goes, your wife, Joyce Butler, goes to bed around 10 o'clock.
Somewhere around there.
So you had the party or this get together had been going on for a little while before she went to bed.
Yes.
But she didn't have anything to drink.
No.
Now, you mentioned in your direct that you were pretty hungover the next morning
Mm-hmm.
to the extent that you tried going to the Walgreens to get some Alka-Seltzer for your hangover. Now, would it be fair to say that your recollection of all the details of that evening might be slightly clouded by the fact that you were pretty intoxicated?
No.
Is that a yes?
No.
No? You think your recollection of that evening is clear?
Yes.
So if anyone else said that when you struck Teresa Green on the nose or on the face, and you caused her nose to bleed, that would not be true.
It won't be true.
You don't have any recollection of that ever happening at all.
No, not her bleeding and that.
And you don't have, do you have any recollection of slamming the bedroom door to your wife's bedroom?
No.
Or knocking over stuff inside your apartment, like a fan and whatnot?
No.
You don't have any recollection of how the Teresa Green's blood ended up on the frame outside of your apartment?
No.
But your testimony here today is that it was definitely not from your having struck her in
No, it wasn't.
a bloody nose.
No.
So your testimony here today is that Teresa Green, who was quite intoxicated, after she slapped you and you slapped her back, or tapped, as you said, slapped her back, she turned her wrath on Mr. Hunter. Is that correct?
Yes.
So she decided to take out her anger on him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember, or do you have any recollection of Mr. Hunter trying to prevent her from attacking you?
No.
You don't have any recollection of that at all.
That didn't happen.
So if anybody else said that, that would not be true either.
That won't be true.
You have no recollection of the two of you exchanging quite a few words, hostile words between you and Teresa Green on that evening.
No.
No, it was just a random slap for no apparent reason at all.
Yes.
Now, your story here today is that Teresa Green was on the landing outside of your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then she was in a struggle with Mr. Hunter.
No, she wasn't struggling yet. What happens, he stepped on the first step. She was on the main landing, and she asked him, why you let Joe hit me? And then she said, you hit him first, and he just tapped you anyway. So next thing you know, she put her foot up and kicked him, And he grabbed her foot and they went downstairs.
Now, was he, according to your recollection now, was he facing her
Yes,
when he fell back?
yeah,
So he fell over backwards
yeah.
down the
But he
stairs.
had grabbed her leg, they fell together.
And so she fell over the top of him presumably
Yeah, something
on
like
the way down the stairs.
something like that.
Now, you know, in the photograph there, she appears to be a fairly substantial woman. In other words, she was not a thin, frail
No, she was.
individual. She's
Yeah.
pretty hefty.
Yeah.
And she fell over the top of him.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I know they both went downstairs.
Well, I mean, you were standing there watching.
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
right?
I was standing there.
Okay. So she didn't just walk down the stairs. She
She
fell
got
down.
pulled downstairs.
I'm sorry?
She got pulled
She
downstairs.
got pulled downstairs. She fell down with him.
Yes,
Down the stairs, all the way down to the
all the
bottom.
way to the end.
So would it be fair that they were tumbling as
Yeah.
they were falling down?
Yes, yes.
All the way down to the bottom, which is a
Bottom.
concrete landing.
And, yeah. Mhm.
At that point, you decided that, you'd had enough of this and you were
Yeah,
closing the door.
yeah. And then,
And according to you, Lisa Moore, who is, she's not actually your daughter,
Uh-uh.
correct? She's your stepdaughter.
yes,
She's Joyce Butler's
yes.
daughter. At that point, Lisa Moore was not there.
Not yet, I don't think.
You don't think so?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So she wouldn't have seen
No.
that.
The only person
event.
saw it there was Joyce.
I'm sorry?
Joyce have seen that.
Joyce would have seen it.
Yeah.
So, at this stage of the game, you've decided you've had enough of this. Do you remember?
Okay, so I wasn't the only one.
Son showing up that evening.
I wasn't the only one that's catching this because it sounded like he doing the Cardi B. She looked like she could protect a building. I'm just saying. LaPanda, this is Florida versus Demorris Hunter. He is already a convicted serial unaliver with an extensive history out in California. But in between his California unaliving and the California trial, apparently he was over in Florida and may have taken out a lady by strangulation and left her in the trunk of her car at Walgreens. And so this is a trial for that. Now he got 110, 112, whatever it was, 100 some years in California, but Florida ain't offering no extended stay. Florida is offering a final destination. This unaliving occurred in 2002. And so they finally, after a bunch of delays, have extradited him from the California prison over to Florida to have him answer for Miss Teresa Green.
Son,
Good morning.
no, not that evening.
Not that evening?
Not that I know of.
You would never have talked to him or anything along those
I'm gonna
lines?
object to which evening are we talking
Yeah, 'cause
The evening of the fall, the
Mm.
evening of the party at your house. The same evening, we're talking sometime after 2:30 in the morning.
uh-uh,
Do you remember her son showing up?
no,
Or talking to him about anything at all?
no.
Did you know that Lisa Moore's son was staying in Teresa Green's apartment?
Teresa Green's son was saying that?
No, Lisa Moore. At that time, Lisa Moore had a son, correct?
Yes,
And do you remember how old he was
about
back then?
8 or 9, somewhere around
8 or
there.
9 years old? Do you remember seeing him that night at all?
No, not at that place there, no.
I'm sorry?
No,
No, you don't remember seeing him.
uh-uh.
So after you close the door on this whole scene, did you go immediately to bed?
Yes. No, I took another drink and then I went to bed.
You had another drink?
Yeah.
And then you went to bed?
Yeah.
When you went to bed, or in the course of your having a drink, presumably that took you more than a few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
right? You weren't just doing shots, right?
No.
So you took your time, you had a drink, and then you decided to go to bed. Now, while you were in your apartment, after you closed the door, basically decided you didn't want to hear anything more about this, and you were having a drink and then went to bed, it would be fair to say you didn't hear anything coming from Teresa's apartment, any noise coming from Teresa's
No.
apartment, any yelling or anything like that?
No.
Anything that would have alerted you?
No, I
You
heard,
didn't hear a crash,
no,
like a loud bang?
no,
Something like a piece of furniture falling over or someone being smashed into a wall? You never heard that?
No.
So you had no reason to go check on the apartment at
No.
all?
no.
So we're sometime after 3 o'clock in the morning, would that be fair? Is when you finally get to sleep?
Maybe about right.
Okay, I mean, it's late, whatever it is, it's
Yeah.
really late. So the next thing you know, this is what you've testified to today, is that Mr. Hunter comes knocking on your door trying to wake you up.
Yes,
And it's your testimony that your wife Joyce let him into the apartment?
not the first time.
Not the first time?
No.
So who would have answered the door and known who it was at the door?
She answered the door.
Okay. And you're still asleep?
Yeah,
So you don't actually know this. This is what Joyce told you.
yeah, she came, yeah, right at that time, she told me, and I told her, I said, well, I'm not going within the car that I open this time of morning.
Okay, so the first time that you are told that Mr. Hunter is coming to see you, or he's at your door and asking you for a favor, is pretty early in the morning.
Yeah,
right? About 7 o'clock.
no,
Earlier than that,
yes,
6 o'clock.
I think it was 5.
5 o'clock in the morning? Okay, did you ever tell anybody that happened at 5 o'clock in the morning?
I'm not one for sure, but I know it was at around that time, it was early.
How did you know? Did you look at your watch?
Yes,
Did you-
when I looked at the watch, at my clock on the wall, it was saying something like 5 or
So
something.
you've been asleep for a couple of hours.
Yeah,
And it's still dark.
yes,
And again, did you ever tell anyone, any detective, that Mr. Hunter had come trying to wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning?
not that I know of.
No. Is that because your memory is better today, or because it was better back then?
But yeah, probably was better back then.
It would have been better back then, right?
Hmm.
So, and that's the kind of thing that you would have thought was important to tell law enforcement, right? Because it helps to set the time frame of when things are happening.
Yeah, I told him everything I knew.
Okay. Eventually, though, according to you, you got up and you talked to Mr. Hunter face to face, correct?
Yeah,
And according to you, your recollection is that Mr. Hunter asked you to follow him and Teresa in the van, that you needed to go somewhere. He needed to go somewhere. Is that correct?
yeah, he need to go take see, we had already discussed this the day before.
You'd already discussed what the day before?
Take the car back to the car lot, so she didn't want the car no more. So we was gonna do that the next day. So,
All right, let me get this straight. It's your testimony today is that you and Mr. Hunter had planned
no,
to take the car back? to
no,
the car
me,
lot?
me and Mr. Hunter didn't plan anything.
Okay,
It was me and her,
you and Teresa Green?
yes. She wanted me to follow, because he had the van.
I'm sorry?
He had the van, she wanted me to follow them in the car, so they can take the car back to the car lot.
All right, so, I'm sorry. So you had discussed with Teresa Green
Mm-hmm,
that she was going to take the car back to a car lot
yes,
and that she needed you to follow her in the van,
mm-hmm,
and that you were gonna arrived back from this car lot.
Yes,
Now, I'm assuming when you say car lot, that you mean like a used car lot. I'm guessing that she had bought, according to you, she had bought this car from a used car lot and was not able to make the payments or something and was giving it back.
I have no idea what she had doing with the car, but she wanted to take it back. That's all I know.
She wanted to take it back. Now, have you ever told anyone
The defendant is over at the table. This is hold on, guys.
conversation with Teresa?
So remember they said there was a kickback at Joseph and Joyce Butler house, and Teresa was their next door neighbor, and then the defendant was actually renting a room. So the person on the stand right now is Joseph Butler. He and his wife was having a party at their apartment in apartment 12. Teresa, the victim, the decedent, was their neighbor. She lived in apartment 11. The defendant, who's at the table, he is bald as well. He's just a little bit darker and little gray beard. He has a longer beard. I think he has some glasses on today. He actually was renting a room down in apartment 9 downstairs. And so we know that the person on the stand and the decedent had a little bit of a slapping match. They were slap boxing across the face when at 2:30 in the morning. Now he didn't say it. She didn't took a little bit of that bottle down. Everybody sounded like they was a little bit lit. Joyce said, everybody get the fuck out because I got to go to work in the morning. And somehow between the tussle between the person on the stand and the deceased woman, the defendant was allegedly in between them trying to stop them from going at each other. Somehow in that tussle and turmoil, the defendant and the deceased topple down the stairs. Somehow once they get down the stairs, they end up in the defendant's apartment, and then the defendant allegedly goes back up to the man on the stand's apartment and say, hey, I need you to follow me right quick. Drive this white van and follow me. He drives the white van and follows him. So this, even though they're both bald, melanated men, this is Joseph Butler. His house was where the kickback was, which is technically the last place that Teresa Green was saw alive.
Green, to return her car to a car lot the next day? You ever told anyone this story?
I told my wife.
You told your wife?
Yeah.
So she would have known this.
Yes.
And since it's kind of important what happened with her car, presumably she would have told the police this story as well.
I don't know.
Now, when you talked to the police once and then twice, and then when you were deposed by attorneys before us, you never told anyone this story about you and Teresa Green taking a car back to a car lot. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
So this is the first time that you've told anyone about this.
Probably is, yes.
Oh, hell, Joseph.
So according to you, when Mr. Hunter came to see you that morning and said, I need you to follow me and Teresa in the van, then what you assumed was that the car was being returned to a car lot and he was just helping along,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
You never told law enforcement, though, that that's what you thought, correct?
No.
So when Mr. Hunter, according to you, wakes you up that morning and tells you, I want you to follow me and Teresa in her car. I want you to drive my van. At no point that morning did you ever see Teresa
No.
in the car.
No.
She wasn't in the van with you.
No.
Like, you told detectives that that concerned you, that you didn't see Teresa
Yeah, that did concern me.
because you were worried that something had happened to her.
I didn't know nothing happened at the time.
You didn't what?
Didn't know nothing had happened to her at the time.
When Mr. Hunter showed up that morning to speak to you, in fact, you told law enforcement that you saw no injuries on Mr. Hunter whatsoever. Is that correct?
Not at that time, I didn't.
I'm sorry?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Just a little moment. When on December 29th, this is the same, the second interview when the law enforcement spoke to you, they asked you how Mike was acting that morning when he came to wake you up. Your answer was, he acted like regular Mike to me. He didn't act no different. That sound right?
Mm-hmm.
And they asked you, you see any blood on him? Said, no, nothing. That sound right?
Right.
At no point during that interview or any other interview that you ever came, have you ever told anyone that Mr. Hunter had a red mark on his face, as you testified on direct here this morning?
No, I didn't.
You've never told anyone?
No.
When law enforcement asked you about the fact that Teresa was not in fact in that car and was not there, isn't it true that at that point you suspected that something had happened to Teresa?
When she was what now?
I'm sorry?
Repeat that?
Your story is that Mr. Hunter came, got you up, and said to you, I need you to follow me and Teresa in the van, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
I'm sorry that, I'm not trying to be a bother about that. It's just that when the court reporter transcribes things, comes out as M.
Yeah.
And nobody can tell later on if it was a yes or a no. So
Okay.
that's why and I do this with all witnesses, not just yourself. So that morning, he comes, wakes up, says, I need you to follow me and Teresa. You'll be in the van. And then you don't see Teresa.
I didn't even see the car until I get at the door. He got the car around the corner.
So he's already driving the car and he's around the corner.
He's around the corner. When I pulls up behind him, he takes off.
Okay. So, but again, my point was you never saw Teresa in the car. You
No.
never saw when you got to the
No.
parking lot at the Walgreens.
No.
You never saw her.
No.
And is it in the fact that you told the police that morning, after you told them that you hadn't noticed any injuries on Mr. Hunter, that, quote, in my mind, they did something, they had done something to Teresa, really? And you were actually concerned that something might have happened to her.
Yeah, because when he came back and got in the van, and left the car there,
Right.
and I said,
And she was nowhere in sight.
yeah, and I said, oh, man. Then that's when he told me, say, he messed up. And I told
And
him,
that's as far as the
I told him I don't want to hear it. Take me back home.
you didn't want to hear.
No,
You didn't want to know what might have
I didn't
happened to
wanna
your
know.
next door neighbor and your friend.
I didn't want to know nothing,
You didn't want to know nothing.
nothing.
Did it ever occur to you that Teresa Green's body might be in that car?
Thought about it on the way back.
You thought about it on the way
Yeah.
back. Now, Mr. Hunter, you had known for, I think you said earlier, about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He never promised you anything to get you to do this, correct?
No,
He never threatened you in any way.
no,
He never offered you money
No,
or anything
no.
to help him do this thing that you claim happened that day.
no, did nothing.
you just believed that you just didn't want to get involved in any of this?
I didn't.
Would it be fair of me to guess that some of that might have to do with the fact that if you got involved in something like this criminally, that you could lose your apartment and your job?
All that.
All that.
And plus, I didn't want to be sitting in here.
You didn't want to be sitting in here. So the party happens
No
Saturday.
party.
night. Saturday night.
Wasn't no party.
No party, the get together. Is that
Call
okay?
it that.
Get together? With drinking and music happens it's actually early Sunday morning, correct?
Yes.
And early Sunday morning in daylight is when you and Mr. Hunter go to the Walgreens, according to you.
Yes.
So you get back to your apartment, and you went right back to bed, right?
Yes.
Because you were hungover from that.
Mm-hmm.
You told Joyce, your wife, that Mr. Hunter said, I messed up.
Yes.
And she didn't ask you what that meant.
Well, I told her that. I said I didn't see Teresa.
I'm sorry? You
I
didn't
told,
see
yeah, I
Teresa,
didn't see Teresa. I said,
but you didn't say anything to her about your suspicions that something might have happened.
yeah, I told her something might have happened. Yeah.
And her response to that was, well, if you're not talking, I'm not talking.
I don't know about that part.
No. Did she say, why are we not calling the police right now?
No.
Did she say, if you don't call the police, I'm calling the police?
No.
As a matter of fact, neither one of you ever did call the police.
No.
right? Octavius Hayes called the police,
Yes.
her son,
Mm-hmm.
middle school.
Yeah.
age son. Had you and Joyce agreed that if and when Octavius showed up, which is bound to happen, that neither one of you would confirm to him your suspicions or say anything to him about what had happened?
We didn't make no plans like that.
But somehow, when he shows up at your door that morning,
Yeah.
Monday morning, after Teresa's been missing now for 36 hours or more, when he knocks on your door and says to you, have you seen my mom? Your response and Joyce's response was, we ain't seen her.
No, we didn't see it. We didn't see her since Saturday. That's something like that. We hadn't seen her that day.
Sir, you gave a statement to the police, I've been referring to already. The very first one that happened on May 28th after midnight. And the detectives were asking you about what happened, what happened when Octavius shows up. They asked you on page 13 of your transcript, you were asked, did he come by, he being Tate or Octavius as he was known, did he come by within the last couple of days and say he found the door open or anything like that? And you said, no, he didn't tell me that. That's when he came this morning and said, you seen my mama? And I said, I haven't seen her.
That day I hadn't seen her.
Right, yeah, you hadn't seen her that day. You didn't tell law enforcement, and you didn't tell Octavius that you had seen her on Saturday night at your house. You didn't tell him that.
No.
You didn't tell him that you hadn't seen her since that Saturday night.
No.
You didn't tell him about the fight that happened essentially between you and her, and how she slapped you and you slapped her back,
Mhm.
and how she and Mr. Hunter fell down the stairs, and you didn't tell him about any of it.
About none of that.
And neither did Joyce, right?
No.
Your wife.
Mr. Marrero, it's been about 2 hours. I probably need to the jury a break.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be brief after that.
I will give you a 15-minute break at this time. Do not discuss the case among yourselves. Don't discuss it with anyone else. Do not do any independent research while you're away from us. Leave your pads and pens on the chairs. They will be there when you return. And I will give you a recess in the jury deliberation room for 15 minutes.
I got a foot problem. I'm saying my foot.
Okay.
I need to do something to him.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, we'll be in recess for 15 minutes. Sir, if you don't want to walk around any, feel free to stay right there.
Jury entering?
You may be seated. Mr. Marrero, you may resume.
I'm almost done, Mr. Butler, so you can relax. You knew that Mr. Hunter was renting a room from Humphrey Moore, the guy who was actually on the lease in the apartment downstairs, right? You knew that Mr. Moore's lease was expiring, and so at the end of that month, they were gonna have to move out,
Yes,
both of them,
yes,
right?
yes.
You knew that. And that little get together, you guys were doing that partially because Mr. Hunter was leaving and you wouldn't be seeing him again?
No, not really.
You don't remember that?
No.
Okay. Do you know what a buccal swab is, or a buccal swab?
A what? No.
Yeah. When law enforcement want to test people's DNA,
Mm-hmm.
they have a little kit, and it includes something that looks like a long Q-tip.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in your mouth,
Yeah.
scrape it,
Mm-hmm.
scan it inside. I guess it's called buccal cells. That's what we have. They scrape that, and then they put it in a little
Yeah.
sleeve, and then they send it off to the lab to compare. You've seen that, right? Maybe on TV or something. Law enforcement asked you if you would submit to having your DNA tested. Right?
Yeah.
And you said you wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Any redirect?
Very briefly, Your Honor. Thank you.
Follow-up questions for you, sir.
Okay.
Are you and Joyce Butler now separated?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't realize you two were still married, so I apologize for that. That was my mistake earlier. When you first spoke with the detectives, did you tell them about the defendant coming over the next morning and following him to Walgreens?
I think I did.
Show you a copy of your transcripts from that interview starting on page
Yes, I thought I did.
7. Take a look at that. Let me know that refresh your memory as far as whether you told the police about that. Did you tell them about it?
Yeah.
And Mr. Barrera asked you some questions about Ms. Green's son, Octavius, coming over.
Yeah.
And did he ask you if you had seen his mom?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And what'd you tell him?
I didn't know, not that day. Not.
And the last time you had seen Ms. Green was after they tumbled down the stairs.
Yes.
And when you last saw her, was Ms. Green up and walking and fine?
Yes, sir.
And who was she with?
It was with Mike.
At the time that you talked to Octavius Hayes, did you have any direct knowledge or any proof that Ms. Green was injured or deceased?
No.
Did you have any indication that she was actually in the trunk of her car?
I know I haven't seen all that.
So did you feel the need to tell Octavius, hey, look, I have no proof of this, I'm just speculating that your mom may be dead in the trunk of the car?
No, no.
Thank you, sir. No other questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. May this witness be excused.
Just, I have one last recross.
Approach, please.
If I-
Oh, we have a question from the jury. So I will need to see the attorneys up here, please. Sir, one question for you. Who paid for the meat at Publix?
I do.
Thank you. Any follow-up on that issue on behalf of the state,
No, Your Honor.
on behalf of the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, may this witness be excused.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're free to go, sir.
I can go home?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
He said, I can go home. Oh, so we're getting jury questions in this one.
State, you may call your next witness.
Okay.
Calls Lisa Moore.
And Lisa is his stepdaughter, right? I don't know why they asked that either, but we might get some more information about his ass because I think this is his stepdaughter coming to the stand.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning. Morning. Ma'am, could you state your name and spell your last name for the court reporter, please?
Lisa Moore, Moore.
Thank you. Fire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Moore.
Good morning.
What do you do for a living now?
Right now, I am a transit driver.
Do you know a woman named Joyce Butler?
Yes,
Who is she in relation to you?
she is my mother.
Do you know a man named Joseph Butler?
Yes, I do.
Who is he in relation to you?
Joseph is my mother's husband.
Let me direct your attention back to May of
Now.
2002.
That can she didn't say my stepdad. She said it's my mama husband.
Where were you living back then?
At the time, I believed I lived in Orlando, in some apartments off of Forest City Road.
Where did your mom and stepdad, or your mom and your mother's husband, Joseph, live back then?
They lived in, I believe they were called Bay Run or something to that extent. It was in Orlando.
Was that off of Cornell Avenue, do you remember?
Correct.
Was that an apartment complex?
Yes,
And did they live upstairs or downstairs?
they lived upstairs.
About how far away did you live from that apartment complex?
I would say driving distance, maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Back in 2002, you visited them frequently.
Yes,
Did you also know a woman named Teresa Green?
yes.
And how did you know her?
She was my mother's neighbor.
How long had you known her prior to her death?
I had not known her prior to her death. I guess however long she was my mother's neighbor.
Were you close with Miss Green, or just kind of saw her when you came over to visit?
Yes, just whenever I saw her.
Had you been in her apartment around the time that she was murdered?
I can't say that I have and can't say that I didn't. I don't recall.
Let me direct your attention to Saturday evening, May 25th, 2002, into the early morning hours of Sunday, May 26th. Was there some kind of a get-together at your mom's apartment that evening into the next morning?
Yes.
And do you remember what the purpose of that get-together was?
I'm thinking just a friends gathering, kind of music.
Did you go to that apartment during that get-together at some point?
At some point, yes, I did.
And when you arrived, who was there?
My mother, Joseph, Miss Green, and Mr. Hunter.
What did you know Mr. Hunter as back then? What name?
We knew him as Mike.
And I know it's been many years, but do you see Mr. Hunter or Mike in the courtroom here today?
I do.
Can you please point him out and tell me what he's wearing and where he's sitting?
White shirt, glasses,
Does he have a jacket on or no jacket?
no jacket.
May the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
I'm showing you what's been introduced is into evidence as states 10. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, it might be behind you.
Yes,
Do you recognize the person in that photo?
yes,
Who's that?
Mr. Hunter.
Do you remember whether Ms. Green and the defendant were dating back then?
They were together, so I assume that maybe they were seeing each other.
And where did the defendant live in relation to your mom and Joseph Butler?
Downstairs.
Do you remember the apartment number?
I do not.
Do you remember the name Humphrey Moore?
Yes,
And where did Humphrey Moore live?
downstairs.
Did the defendant kind of move into Humphrey Moore's apartment at some point?
Yes,
Do you have a son?
I do.
What's his name?
Rayshawn.
Back in 2002, how old would he have been?
He was school age. He's 29 now, so
When was he born? What year?
96.
96, 2002, put him around 6 or so? give or take.
Yes,
Was your son at the apartment that night as well?
yes,
Okay. And your mom and stepdad's apartment, or your mom and Joseph's apartment?
yes,
Was he ever in Miss Green's apartment that night?
no.
So what was going on when you arrived at this get-together?
Just music, talking, probably a little drinking.
Were you drinking, do you remember?
No,
What about your mom?
she probably wasn't.
Did she have to work the next morning?
I believe so.
And what about Joseph? Was he drinking?
Yes,
What about the defendant? You remember seeing him drink?
probably. I'm not. It's been too long.
Okay, not sure.
Not sure.
What about Miss Green? Do you remember if she was drinking?
Unsure.
What was your mom doing during this get-together, since she had to work the next morning?
I believe at some point in time she was probably headed to the room to go to sleep.
At some point, did your mom kind of get upset and say, hey, I got to get up the next morning, we need to shut this down?
Yes.
Okay, what happened at that point?
Her just coming out asking, can we just go ahead and turn the music down? Maybe wanting to wrap things up, because she had to go to work. It's what I can remember thus far.
Did that make Joseph a little mad?
I believe it did.
Okay. At some point before everybody left, still inside the apartment, did anything physical happen between Joseph and Miss Green?
I believe so, yes.
What do you remember happening?
Some type of argument about what, I'm not sure. And I believe there was a hit in the face.
You remember who hit who?
I believe it was Miss Green hitting Joseph.
Remember Joseph hitting her back?
I don't.
If that could have happened, would you disagree with that?
No,
Could have happened?
it could have.
Do you remember anything going on?
Don't tell us about Joseph.
Between Teresa Green and Joseph that caused this to happen?
I don't remember.
What happened after this slapping incident?
More arguing and, everybody getting ready to leave out of the apartment.
Did Teresa Green and the defendant walk out to the stairwell?
Yes, they end up leaving.
And what happened at the stairwell?
More disagreement between the two of them, and at some point they fell down the stairs.
Disagreement between the two of who?
Ms. Green and Mr. Hunter.
Do you remember anything specific about that disagreement?
I do not.
That's okay. So you said they tumbled down the stairwell?
Correct.
Do you remember how that happened, or did you see what caused that to happen, or you just know it did?
Yes, I just saw it happen.
And what do you remember?
As far as them falling, they were both kind of facing each other. You know how, like, if you're on a seesaw, you're facing each other. That's how they fell going down the stairs.
Did they fall all the way down to the bottom?
To the very end, yes.
Once they reached the bottom, what did you see happen between the two of them?
I really don't remember. Probably just more arguing between the two of them.
Did it appear that anybody was seriously injured?
No,
Anybody crying, screaming, shouting out in pain, anything like that?
no.
Did you see where the defendant and Ms. Green went after they made it to the bottom of the stairs and got up?
Into her apartment.
Okay, so they came back up the stairs and went in her apartment?
Yes,
And where were you at this point to see this?
probably somewhere in the hallway. Not even sure if it was either upstairs or downstairs. Could have been up at the top of the stairs.
Did you see any injuries on either one of them as they passed you to go into the apartment?
No, not that I could visually see.
Where is they went into Ms. Green's apartment?
Yes,
Okay. Where is Ms. Green's apartment in relation to your mom and Joseph's?
it's across the hall.
What did you do at that point regarding your son?
I did go put him downstairs into the car.
Where'd you get him from?
I believe he was probably in one of the other bedrooms.
Of your mom and Joseph's apartment?
Yes,
Okay. So you go in there, you get your son, and you take him where?
downstairs to the car.
As you were doing that, could you hear anything coming from Teresa Green's apartment?
At some point in time, I did hear a little, some words being said, coming from the door.
From behind the door
Correct,
or from inside the apartment?
correct.
Could you tell who, I'm assuming the voice was raised, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Could you tell whose voice you heard? Was it the defendant's or Teresa's or both?
I don't remember. It could have been both.
After putting your son in the car, what did you do?
I was attempting to go back to my mother's apartment. Joseph was still upset, said some things to me. I don't know if I was attempting to make a phone call or something. I was just concerned about my mother, so that's why I was going back up to mainly check on her.
You wanted to use the phone?
Yes,
I'm
I
assuming
think
that
I think my phone had died, or I can't remember what the issue was.
back in 02, did you even have a cell phone?
I don't even remember. Maybe a pager or something. It's been too long. I don't
Okay.
recall.
Were you able to ever go in your mom and Joseph's apartment to use the phone?
No,
Okay. Who'd you want to call?
I was attempting to call my brother.
Why?
I wanted him to come and stop by just to make sure everything was okay with my mother. Because again, Joseph was still upset. I just wanted to make sure that her well-being was okay and that he didn't take his frustration or anger out on her.
After you try to get into the apartment to use the phone, did you knock on Teresa Green's door?
Yes.
What happened?
Mr. Hunter came to the door. I'd asked, could I use the phone? And suggest that I didn't come in, I guess, because, she was, calming down.
That's what the defendant told you?
Correct. Something to that extent. Again, it's been years.
Did you see Miss Green anywhere at that point?
No,
Were you able to go inside the apartment?
no,
Did he kind of like open the door and just talk you through the doorway?
correct.
I understand. So once the defendant told you it was best for you not to come into that apartment, what did you do?
I believe I probably went back downstairs or
So what's the
maybe
beef?
attempted to go back to my mother's apartment.
Were you ever able to go back into your mother's apartment?
I don't recall.
Did you ever go back and knock on Miss Green's door a second time?
Yes,
And what happened?
I didn't get an answer.
Did you hear anything from inside the apartment at that point?
No,
Do you remember about what time Sunday morning you finally would have left with your son?
I do not.
Was it early morning hours? Was it dark out still?
It was still dark out.
Was that night the last time you ever saw Teresa Green?
Yes,
Did you ever see the defendant again after that night?
no,
Do you know a man named Henry Fields or Pete?
yes.
And who is Pete?
I believe he was a friend of Mr. Hunter's.
A couple of days later, did a female detective come and show you an array of 6 different photographs and ask if you could pick out one?
Yes,
Did you do that?
yes,
Coach,
May.
show me those marked as Stacy's at a P as in Paul. Take a look at that document and let me know if you recognize your writing, your signature, and your initials. Did you pick out the person that you knew was Mike? Thank you. Carol, is that your copy of the document you filled out?
yes.
No more questions. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Good morning, Ms. Moore.
Good morning.
Come on.
Um,
Come on, 'cause that's where I'm at with it.
Lisa Moore Turner.
I hate to say this, no disrespect to Mrs. Green because she's no longer with us. But I'm starting to get a piece of the vibe that we can't say it because we don't have evidence, but she probably believes it with her whole damn heart. Anybody else? I guess you can put a 1 in the chat if you're with me too. If you 1 for yes, 2 for no. Anybody else feeling like maybe Joseph and Miss Green was messing around, but then maybe when the renter, the person, Mr. Mike, who started living downstairs because he started renting a room from his buddy, maybe she started talking to Mr. Mike and that just turned into a situation? Like maybe they found out or got confirmation or hinted to it. Something happened at that party. Because 1, if you having a party at my house and me and my husband are hosting, I'm not going to bed. We might go to bed, but I'm not going to bed. But it might be, I might shut it down if I think you got your wench in my house and y'all up here arguing it. Because what would make neighbors slap each other in the face? Besides, you got me up. This you gonna have this in my house, and you've been like, it sound like that. Okay, we on the same page. Something missing. We'll say that for if nothing else, something is missing from this story. There's a piece of the story that probably includes Mr. Mike, Joseph Butler, and Teresa Green in a bit of a triangle situation in some way, shape, or form. even if it's the fact that Mr. Hunter stepped in and hit, Joseph ain't like you stepping in with his other woman. But at the same time, why would the defendant, Mike or Demorris or Mr. Hunter, whatever you want to call him at this point, because he got a bunch of aliases, even they call him Henry, Pete, that don't even make no sense. So none of these nicknames make sense. But even if Joseph and Teresa had something going on the side, what sense do it make for Mr. Mike, aka Mr. Hunter, from downstairs to take her out? Unless he part of the triangle, or this is all Mr. Butler shit. I don't know. We'll see.
I'd seen your name listed that way, so I didn't know.
During the time of the incident, my name was Moore. I got married at some time and it was Turner, but now it is Moore.
Okay.
Back to Moore.
It's more.
Thank you.
Certainly. Ms. Moore, you never saw the person you knew as Mike to be violent with Teresa Green, correct?
Correct.
They got nicknames, don't make no sense.
You did see Teresa Green verbally and physically argue with other men that she had in her life.
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Yes, so Henry and Pete are the same person. They're the owner of the white van. Mike and Demorris and Mr. Hunter, they're all the same. They're all the defendant.
Your parents had lived in apartment 12 for about 2 years at the time of this incident?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah.
Because you said your
mother and
parent.
your stepfather had lived in apartment
Get
12
it right.
for about 2 years at the time of this incident in May of 2002.
Yes,
And you indicated that your son was about 6.
yes.
And do you remember what time you got to your mother's apartment
It's
that night?
something they told her she can't
I
stay.
do not. I do know that it was late. It was in the evening time, night.
Was it after 10 o'clock?
It's possible.
And did your son go to sleep in your mother's apartment while you guys were all listening to music and talking?
He could have been there, maybe visiting my mother, but like I said, in another room outside of the living area.
And at some point, your mother came out of the bedroom and asked Joseph to turn the music down?
Yes,
And Joseph got mad?
yes.
Did he kick a lamp over?
I don't recall.
Did he break a fan?
I don't recall.
Why would you call him your brother?
Door and
Oh,
ask
man.
everyone to
Tell us
leave?
that part. We get
I
it.
believe so, yes.
And is that when Teresa Green?
We was with you at mother's husband.
At some point, yes, I believe so.
Did it shock you that she slapped him?
I can't say that it did or it didn't.
And you said on direct examination that you don't recall Joseph slapping her back,
Yes, I don't. It's been too long.
that he could have.
It's possible.
And then there was words or argument, I guess. At that point, the person that you knew as Mike tried to step between Teresa Green and Joseph, correct?
Correct.
And that's when they were on the little landing at the top of the steps between the two apartments.
Yes,
And when you said they were facing each other like a teeter-totter, the person you knew as Mike, his back was to the stairs?
back. No, Miss Green is whose back was towards the stairs.
Miss Green's back was to the stairs, and they both went tumbling down the stairs.
Correct.
And did they
Oh.
tumble over top of each other to get to the bottom?
No, they both just kind of slid down facing each other, not a tumble. They
So she
slid down.
down on her back?
They were on their bottoms.
Okay.
Mhm.
Did you see her hit her head?
No,
And you said when they got to the bottom that they got up and continued to that Miss Green continued to verbally argue.
yes,
And then they went back into apartment 11,
yes,
and that
Oh,
you
say
then
what
went
was
and
said.
retrieved
Tell
your
us the
son from apartment
shit.
12.
Correct, yes.
And you brought him downstairs and put him in your car.
That's correct, yes.
And at that point, then you went back up to check on your mother.
Yes,
And at some point you knocked on the door, and that's when the person you knew as Mike answered the door and said that she was calming down. That was after you'd heard the noises, the verbal arguing that was coming from apartment 11, correct?
yes.
And at the time he said she was calming down, were things calming down?
I would assume I didn't really hear much going on.
You never during any of that heard a loud banging or crashing sound like someone crashing through a wall?
No,
And you then, your son was down in your vehicle?
correct, yes.
Had you already called your brother at that point?
I do not recall.
Your brother eventually showed up though, correct?
Yes, he did.
And this was all around 3 a.m. on Sunday morning?
It could have been, I just know it was late. I really don't recall the time.
And you recall going to apartment 11 and knocking one more time, but receiving no answer?
Yes, that's correct.
And then were you downstairs at the bottom of the stairwell by your car talking to your brother or another neighbor from the complex? You remember that?
I do not, could have been my brother, but I don't remember.
Do you recall seeing the lights on or off in apartment 11?
I don't recall.
And then you went back and checked on your mother one last time before you left?
Yes,
And did you ever see the person that you knew as Mike leave apartment 11 and go back to his apartment, which was downstairs?
no, I did not.
Could that have happened while you were in apartment 12 checking on your mother?
It's possible.
And eventually, at some point, 3 or 3:30 in the morning, you left, correct?
Correct.
Did you leave at the same time that your brother left?
I don't remember.
And the whole reason you called your brother was to check on your mother because you were concerned about Joseph's angry behavior.
That is correct.
I may have just a moment. That's all.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Not from the state.
May this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions from the jury? None. You are free to go, ma'am. Thank you. State, do you have any short witnesses, or is this a good time to take a lunch break?
The next witness would be Octavius Hayes. This might be a good time to go ahead and break for lunch, Judge.
All right,
He's
Then-
gonna be a little bit, he would go a little bit past 12, I believe,
and then cross-examination.
Good time as any good break.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I will give you a break at this time for lunch. I'm going to ask that you be back at the location designated by the court deputies at 1:15, and we will resume this trial promptly at 1:15. Do not discuss the case among yourselves. Don't discuss it with anyone else. Do not do any independent research while you're away from us. Leave your pads and pens on the chairs. They will be there when you return.
Jury exiting.
All right, guys, it is now almost noon there, so we'll be back at 1:15 after lunch. Wow.
All right,
This is
folks,
a little
thanks, everyone.
different. I don't know what happened to Miss Teresa. All right, guys, we'll be back 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. I want to look at Mr. Butler's testimony again. It's something that's not making sense because that jury question about who bought the meat at Publix, I'm trying to figure out where that goes. That kind of threw me for a loop. That done threw me for a full loop. I don't know. We'll be back at 1:15.